Hi there, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach. Welcome to another one of my album reviews, and today we are talking about one of my favorite bands to kind of joke about, but joke about in the right way. Pantera Cowboys From Hell. Now, why do I joke about Pantera? Okay, I have a thing about screaming in music. I'm not a fan of screaming. I hate screamo. Absolutely detest screamo. Ah! Not into it. I like to be able to hear the words that are being sung, even though if you're one of my regular viewers, you know I don't really care about lyrics, but I still want to hear the words being sung. I don't want to hear screeches and blah, 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 blah. The pterodactyl scream that they always talk about with Phil Anselmo, that's one of the things with Pantera that always actually kind of turned me off. As I get into this album and I talk about certain parts, you'll understand more and more kind of where I'm coming from with, songs I'll talk nice about or not. I will say I did have the pleasure of meeting Dimebag Daryl. Dude was super, super cool. I met him. He was doing a signing at a music shop that no longer exists here in Windsor. It was during, I believe, the Far Beyond Driven. It was during the Far Beyond Driven time period, and dude was super awesome, super cool, super nice, super drunk. Awesome dude though. Love Dimebag, man. And I am so the only other celebrity I have ever met, and this is going to blow your minds, okay? The only other celebrity I have ever met that I would associate with the kindness and the warmth and just the general good vibe feeling I have gotten from, celebrities. Scott Bakula. Scott Bakula, Dimebag Daryl. Equally super nice dudes. Equally super nice dudes in the time that I got to spend with them. I mean, not like I hung out with them for hours or days or anything like that. But, in the small period of time I spent with them, genuinely the two nicest guys I have ever met, at least celebrity wise. So I am so happy that I got to meet Dimebag Daryl. And no, I don't hold anybody accountable for Pantera breaking up, and I don't have any of those type of biases. And I'm very neutral with that type of stuff. I don't care about that stuff because bands breaking up happens. People going solo happens. It's just natural. If a band stays together for too long, I think it really is bad for that band. Let's get into the album. All right, album moments of the title track, Cowboys From Hell. Fucking killer riff. That. Man, that song just gets you fired from the beginning, man. Like, still one of my favorite Pantera songs to this day. Then we get into Primal Concrete Sledge. Shorter tune, but I dig this tune. Fun song, great song. Not, great as in, I love it, but it does the trick, it fills its spot on the album decently. Psycho Holiday is a great song. That one is a really good tune. I really dig Psycho Holiday. And one of the reasons I dig Psycho Holiday so much is there is definitely a great melodicness to this. Dimebag Daryl really is. My buddy Drew, who I borrowed all the Ghost CDs from to do the album reviews, he's a huge metal guy. I mean, metal. Like the stuff that, peels the paint, makes my ears bleed, blood running down from the corners of my eyes from it. That's the type of metal he listens to. Never been a Pantera fan, but loves Phil Anselmo and all his other bands. But he could never get into Dimebag Daryl and always talk shit about Dimebag Daryl. It's one of the spots where me and him always differed because I always saw Dimebag as a very skilled and talented guitarist. Dude could write some riffs. And not only could he shred, but he could play great melodies, and that was important, And Psycho Holiday goes with that. Heresy, and then It's all right, I guess. I know a lot of guys that were into Heresy. When I was in high school, I actually was there was a year where I was the one that ran music in the cafeteria. There was a few groups of us, but I was the go-to guy most of the time, the one you could always count on to be there, stuff like that. And Heresy was one of those songs that got requested, and I always went, I don't know, throw it on, but I never understood why. It was just. Then we get into Cemetery Gates. Ooh, this is a beautiful song. Out of all of Pantera's original material, I don't think they ever wrote a prettier song than Cemetery Gates. I don't think that Phil ever sang a song better than he sang Cemetery Gates. I had a buddy named Joe, Joe Hammond. I don't know if you've ever seen these or if you watch these at all, but Joe was having a debate with his sister, Dodie, and one of her friends, and I totally backed him up on this because they were all like, "Oh, he only screams, he's got a horrible voice, blah 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 blah." I'm like, no, listen to the song Cemetery Gates. He's actually got a nice voice when he actually uses it. I'm not saying he's got a beautiful voice. I'm not saying he sounds like, Bruce Dickinson. I'm not saying he sounds like Liz Hale. I'm not saying he sounds like Ronnie James Dio. What I'm saying is he does have a nice voice, at least specifically with what he does. If he sang more than he screamed, I'd probably enjoy his music more. Domination is alright. Shattered isn't bad. Clash with Reality isn't bad, but Clash with Reality, yeah. So the reality with me that I'm clashing with here is that those three songs, yeah, they're not the same song, but you kind of get to the point where they feel like they're the same song. I've had the worst dry throat constantly since I've had COVID. Horrible. It's not even the medication anymore. And constantly dried out, so my apologies. All right. So Domination, Shattered, and Clash with Reality, to me, they just kind of blended there. They're not anything major. Then you get to Medicine Man, and I really dig Medicine Man. I put this album back into rotation just so I could listen to it for doing the review. And I forgot how much I enjoyed Medicine Man. And I don't know why. It's just one of those songs I enjoy. Then you get to Message in Blood. Message in Blood is probably the last song on this album that I really enjoy. And not that I really, really enjoy it. It's kind of standard Pantera affair, Not bad. If you're into heavy shit, man, it's good heavy shit. But when it gets to The Sleep and The Art of Shredding, I hate The Art of Shredding. I always have. Ever since I was a teenager. It's that type of metal that just, is a cliche, makes everybody pissed off and angry. And The Sleep is one of those songs I really just tune out on. You cannot be a metal fan and not own this album, okay? I realize it sounds like I'm not really giving it a glowing review, and the only reason I'm not giving it a glowing review is it really honestly isn't the standard affair of metal that I enjoy listening to, or it's not the standard type of music I like listening to. When it comes to Pantera, most of the time I put on their greatest hits album. I've got their greatest hits package. I've got a few Pantera albums. I've got this one. I own the Great Southern Trend Kill, and it was a toss-up between those two over which one I was going to do first. But I figured I'd do the one that I owned first, right? So I've got the Great Southern Trend Kill, I've got the Greatest Hits package, and I've also got 101 Proof Live. And I will probably never own Vulgar Display of Power. There really isn't much on there that I really like. And what I do like is on the Greatest Hits package. And Far Beyond Driven, everybody overplayed it to death on me. I know there's another Pantera album in there that I'm forgetting about. And I do apologize that I'm forgetting about it, but once again, there's not a lot on there that I heard that made me want to go out and get it. The reason I love listening to the greatest hits package is Pantera is very skilled, a band of very skilled musicians. And you can say what you want, but when you cover songs, classic songs, and you arguably do it better than the original in some cases, not in all, but in some. And when I say this, take into consideration, my three favorite bands in order are Alice Cooper, Black Sabbath, Metallica. Okay, those are my three faves in order. And Alice Cooper is like way the hell up here. Then you got Black Sabbath and Metallica, like right, one on top of the other kind of thing. But I love my Sabbath, and I love my Aussie Sabbath. And the first time I heard Pantera do Hole in the Sky, I shit myself. Because I went, whoa. I mean, when the Far Beyond Driven album came out and they did Planet Caravan, I was all like, whoa, over their cover of Planet Caravan. The fact that they covered Planet Caravan, okay? Whoa! So, when you feel that well about a cover of one of your favorite bands, it says a lot for the band doing the cover. That's the way I view it. Anyways, folks, I'm going to cut this one off here. And remind you, there's a like button, a subscribe button. Hit both of those. Those are important to me. Please hit those. Especially that subscribe button. You don't have to like the video, but please subscribe to the channel. Link below for Patreon. And other than that, folks, you should own this album if you're a metal fan. If you're not a metal fan, I can excuse you for not owning this album. Peace, love, take care.